Now let's look at the logical operators. And these are used to combine Boolean values. So you basically have and or, and then there's another version of and or as well. The difference between this version of and the word and has to do with operator precedence. And it only really comes up rarely, so we'll be looking at that difference. And same with this or versus this or. There's also an exclusive or, which basically means either A and not B, or not A and B. So you may not need that one very frequently, but it's nice to know that it exists. And then exclamation point for not. So let's go ahead and look at combining some Booleans. And let's go ahead and create a value A bool, which I'll make true, and B bool, which I'll make false. And then we'll echo A bool and B bool. And let me go ahead and put this in a piece of text, and then add a break to the end. So that's A and B, and here's A or B. And then we're going to get exactly the same results here if we use the keyword and the keyword or. And then let's also go ahead and add some nots. So not that, and not that, and not that, and not that. Not that, not that, not that, not that. And then and finally, let's go ahead and echo A bool and we'll do the same thing for B bool. Okay, so let's go ahead and load that. So A bool is true, which gets displayed as 1. B bool is false, which gets displayed as an empty string. So A bool and B bool is false, because B bool is false. A bool or B bool is true, because A bool is true. Same thing with the keyword and the keyword or. Then not A bool and not B bool is false, because A bool is true, so not A bool is false, and false and true is false. This is false. This is true, so this or this is true. And then same thing with the keywords and the keyword or. Now, the operator precedence makes things a little more complicated. So here's the lesson 2 reading, and if we click on the link for operator precedence, we get this page here. And let's look at what's going on. So the Boolean logical operators and or happen here after the comparison operators. So less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, equal, not equal, not equal, and equal. So these happen first, and then these happen. That's sort of nice because it lets us write expressions like this. Let's say answer is equal to yes, we can write an expression like echo answer equal yes, or answer equal y. And then we'll echo this. That break. So this is basically going to say if the answer is either uppercase y or lowercase y, then we're going to output true, otherwise we'll output false. And then let's do the same thing after setting the answer to n. So the first one should be true, and the second one should be false. So if that's what you were expecting from this expression, then it actually matched your expectations. You'd get the same effect if you put parentheses around this, like so. It's going to do exactly the same thing. See, same output. But it's nice to know that you don't need the parentheses there because of operator precedence. Now, if we look back at the precedence table, you'll see that the only difference between and, ampersand, and bar versus and or are these things right here. So the only time you have to worry about the precedence difference between these and these is when you're doing an assignment, or the plus equal, minus equal, times equal, exponent equal, and so on. These shorthand assignment operators, or what's called the ternary operator. So let me show you the ternary operator. And some people use this a lot and like it, and other people think that it's confusing and bad programming style. Some of your professors will tell you not to use it in C-family programming courses. I'm okay with it. Basically, it works like this. So you're going to have some condition, like, let's go ahead and grab this condition again. And then if this value here is true, question mark, then I'm going to echo the value yes. Otherwise, I'm going to echo the value no. And we'll go ahead and put another layer of parentheses around this whole thing, and then put in a break statement. So what this is going to do is it's going to echo this word if this condition is true, and this word if this condition is false. So it's like a little if statement, if you know what that is. And if we go ahead and execute it, we see it says no, because answer is currently set to n. So if we go ahead and set answer to y, and then execute this line of code again, it's going to go ahead and output yes for that line. So that's the ternary operator, and the reason a lot of people don't like it much is because the precedence on this thing is really complicated and it's really easy to make a mistake. And also when you have nested ternary operators, it's really, really difficult to follow. So here's a place where you can run into trouble with precedence. So we know that ampersand has higher precedence than the ternary operator, but and has a lower precedence. So if we write the expression like this, and then we copy it and write it using or, in the first one, this whole expression has precedence before this ternary operator. So we're going to evaluate this whole thing, decide whether this whole thing is true or false, And then if it's true, we'll output yes. If it's false, we'll output no. But here, the ternary operator actually has precedence over that OR. So it looks to PHP like that. And this is going to be true, so we'll output true. So let's go ahead and get rid of that and reload. And so we got yes followed by 1. So this is outputting yes, and this is outputting 1. Let's make that a little clearer. And we'll reload. So the first ternary outputs yes, second ternary outputs Boolean true, which turns into a 1. And once again, that's because this thing happens first, returns the value true, and then this whole thing is all considered one expression. So that can get you in trouble. The easy fix is just to go ahead and put parentheses around it, though. So now, I should get yes for both of those. Even better is don't use this unless you know exactly what it's doing.